my name is Dr. Bridget Bell. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how I used a DSCR loan to cash out my initial investment on the fourplex that you see on the screen. I've recorded a couple of videos explaining DSCR loans in depth. I will link those videos below. As a quick recap, DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. DSCR is a tool that lenders use to determine if your investment generates enough income to cover its debts. To calculate DSCR, we take the net operating income, or NOI, and divide by total debt service. Lenders typically prefer a DSCR of 1.25 or higher. A higher DSCR indicates the property generates enough income to cover the debt, which reduces the risk to the lender. If your DSCR is 1 or below, that typically means that the property is not generating enough income to pay the debts on that investment. The reason I like using DSCRs is because it's less paperwork, it's based on the rental. My personal income is not verified. There's no question about my personal income. I don't have to disclose it. And some lenders call it a rental loan versus a DSCR loan, but it's the same thing. As far as the paperwork is concerned, I had to submit a lease agreement for each unit. And remember, it's a fourplex, so all 4 lease agreements. The lease agreements are not verified. I've done 2 loans so far, and neither time were the tenants contacted or I was asked to prove that the units were leased and for the amount that they were leased for. So just the lease agreement signed by you and the tenant, a certificate of formation, because our DSCR loans are in our LLC name. So I had to prove that we have registered that entity with the state. I was also required to submit proof of insurance showing that I have hazard insurance for the fourplex. I also had to provide bank wiring and payment instructions, and just showing that the business has a business bank account. The lender did check my personal credit. They only looked for my credit score. I think with most lenders, the minimum score is 680 for your personal. However, your personal credit is not the basis for the loan. They just check that you have the minimum. And the inquiry did not affect my credit score. It didn't even report. So it's a soft pull that they do for your credit. On the personal side, it's not a hard pull, because again, the purpose of a DSCR loan or a rental loan is to use the income of the property to determine if that income divided by the total debt, which includes the new mortgage that you're about to take out with this loan, that is more than 1.25. So here is a look at the property that we purchased. Again, it's a fourplex. There are 2 apartments on the top and 2 apartments that you access on each side of the building. 3 of the units are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and 1 unit is 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. So this was a HUD auction, and we have been riding by the property for years trying to figure out who owned it, just looking to see if it would ever go on sale. So we finally saw a HUD notice on the property that it would be auctioned. And if you know anything about HUD auctions, it's a sealed bid, so you just submit your best bid. We added an extra, I believe, $30,000 to ensure that we would be the highest bidder, or at least we hoped we would be the highest bidder, and we ended up being the highest bidder. So we purchased the property in 2016 for $135,000. We were able to move funds around between several companies that we own that are very profitable and pay cash for this investment. The lender will require you to pay for an appraisal. To keep everything simple, let's just use the Zestimate from Zillow, which has the property valued at $501,600. The appraised value is very important because that's part of the calculation to determine how much you can cash out during the refinance. The maximum is usually 75% of the value, but you can always go lower. So for this example, if the appraised value came back at $501,600, if we wanted to max out at 75% of that value, the most the cash out refinance would be is $376,200. Keep in mind, we will calculate the mortgage payment of $376,200 because that mortgage payment will affect your DSCR ratio. So remember, the lenders prefer a DSCR ratio of 1.25 or higher. In order to calculate the ratio, we take the net operating income divided by the total debt service. Atlanta is expensive, as you know, so we calculated the rents for all 4 units combined to be $6,000 per month. From that, we have taxes of $300 per month and insurance of $300 per month, which gives us a net operating income, or NOI, of $5,400 per month. Now that we know the NOI, we looked at several loans and their corresponding mortgages to determine which mortgage or loan gives us the best DSCR ratio. Because again, 1.25 is the minimum. Anything higher than that is great. So we chose a mortgage that required us to pay $2,000 per month just for the mortgage, which means our DSCR is 2.7. We played around with different mortgage scenarios and keeping in mind that we had to come in at 1.25 for the DSCR, because as you increase your loan amount, the mortgage also increases, which means you have less net income or net operating income, which means your DSCR ratio is going to decrease. Now, if you want to play around with numbers, just Google DSCR calculator, and there will be several websites where you can just drop in numbers and let the website calculate the DSCR for you. And as always, if you have questions or need additional information, drop your comments below. I'll be more than happy to assist you with this, because I am a strong believer in DSCR loans or rental loans as a way to get the equity out of your investments without having to submit a lot of paperwork and without having to verify your personal income. And always remember, these are my experiences with DSCR loans. I am not giving you financial, tax, or investing advice. You will need to consult a qualified professional in those areas. Would you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this video or any of my videos, be sure and like and subscribe to keep the content coming.